friends, happy Thursday. Welcome back to Math Today. Today for math, you will need from your Envision workbook, page 267 and 268, and then page 269. You will also need a pencil. So go ahead and pause the video and grab the materials that you need. All right, friends, welcome back. Before we look at our learning target and our activity sheet for today, we're going to review some of our skills that we've been practicing. Our first skill that we've practiced is looking at our numbers and knowing what they're called. We've been practicing our numbers all the way from 1 to 20. So I've mixed up our cards again. We're going to go through and just name our numbers. Ready? Here we go. 6, 5, 2, 4, 1, 3, 16, 20, 19, 13, 9, 11, 12, 14, 10, 8, 17, 18, 7, 15. Very good job. All right, now let's take a look at our number line to help us remember the sequence or the order of our numbers as we count from 1 to 20. I have 0 up here too to remind us that 0 is the number that comes before 1 and it represents nothing. So if I have a plate of cookies but there's not even a cookie on my plate, then I have 0 cookies. All right, let's count starting at 1. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Great job. So today we're going to continue working on our learning target of categorizing. So our learning target says, I can count how many objects are in different categories. We talked about how categories are groups that are sorted based on things that are alike. So if I have some fruit and I want to categorize them based on color, I can say, okay, I'm going to put all of the orange fruit together, and then I'm going to put all the fruit that is not orange together. So I would put maybe my oranges, and the other fruit would be maybe bananas and grapes. Or I could say, okay, now I'm going to sort my pencils by long or short. After I've used pencils, they get pretty short. So I could put all of my long pencils in a group versus the pencils that are not long. So you can put things into different categories in different ways. We've been practicing our sample using shapes. So today I have my T-chart up here that shows us we're going to categorize triangles versus shapes that are not triangles. So we're going to count first how many triangles there are, and then I'm going to draw the lines to show that many and write a number to match. So let's count as I mark out. Ready? We have 1, 2 triangles. So I'm going to put 2 lines to show there are 2 triangles, and then I'm going to write a 2 to show there are 2 triangles. All right, now let's count the shapes that are not triangles. We have circles and a square up here. So let's count how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4, so I'm going to draw 4 lines and then write a 4. So now I can compare which group I have more of and which I have less of. So if I had 2 triangles and then 4 shapes that are not triangles, which do I have a lesser amount of? Triangles, right? 2 is less than 4, which means that 4 is greater than 2. So I have more shapes that are not triangles versus shapes that are triangles. So let's take a look at our solve and share for today. Our solve and share is really making us think about why we put groups into categories, or how it's important for us to think about things that are alike and why they go in a certain group. So on our solve and share, it says that Carlos says that the number of blue cubes is equal to the number of cubes that are not blue. Okay? So he thinks that the blue cubes are equal to the number of cubes that are not blue. What we need to do is see if that's true. So let's show what we know. We're going to use our T-chart as a resource to help us put those into categories. So let's draw our side-to-side line and then a line straight down the middle. And then I'm going to put a capital B on this side and then a capital B with an X through it on the other side to show blue versus the cubes that are not blue. Now, let's count and mark out how many blue there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 blue. So let's make 10 lines, but we have to write kind of small. I'm going to make 2 rows of them. Ready? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Now, I'm going to count the number of cubes that are not blue. Let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so let's make 9 lines on the side with the X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The first thing I forgot to do on this side was write a 10. So go ahead on the other side and write your 10 to show that we counted 10 blue cubes. And let's write our 9 on the other side to show that there are 9 cubes that are not blue. Now, let's compare. Is 10 equal to 9? Are they the same number? No. So we say that 10 is greater than 9 and 9 is less than 10. So we're going to circle our 10 and X our 9 to show that Carlos is not right. These are actually different numbers. 10 is greater than 9, so it shows that there are more blue than there are cubes that are not blue. Okay? So his thought was actually not correct. So we're going to flip to the guided practice on the back to actually practice a little bit more showing of what we know how to categorize. On the back it says, Gabby says that the category of airplanes is greater in number than the category of things that are not airplanes. So it wants us to see if her answer is correct. So first, let's count the airplanes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 airplanes, and they've already written that for us, so we can trace it. Straight line down, halfway around, hat on top, 5 is found. Now let's count how many are not airplanes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I'm going to trace my 6 down to a loop. A 6 makes a hoop. Okay, but Gabby said that she thinks the category of airplanes is greater than the ones that are not airplanes. Is she right? No. 5 is less than 6. So we're going to circle NO. That spells no. This is like the practice you're going to do today. You only have 2 problems to do on your own because I'm going to do the first one with you. Okay? We're just going to skip the back today. So on page 269, our directions tell us that we are going to listen to each of the directions and we're going to circle a yes if the directions tell us the correct thing or a no if they do not. Okay, so just like we practiced with Gabby and Carlos, we want to check to see if these friends are correct in what they count in their categories. It's a little tricky, so stay with me. So across the top, we have a train. The train cars are made up of red and yellow. So the first one says, Damon says that he counted 8 yellow train cars and 6 train cars that are not yellow. Does his answer make sense? So he thinks that there are 8 yellow cars and 6 ones that are not yellow. These are called train cars. Well, first, we need to count what color? Yellow. So let's count the yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 yellow. What I want you to do above the yellow car right here is write a 6 so that you don't forget. Okay? Now, it says we need to count the ones that are not yellow. Starting with the first one, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So now above the one with an X, we're going to write an 8. Okay. Now, Damon thinks that there are more yellow than there are not yellow. So he thinks there's 8 yellow and 6 that are not yellow. Is he correct? No, we counted the opposite of that. So we're going to circle the word no. Okay? This is making our brains really, really think. Okay, now I'm going to read you the directions for the next two. If you need to pause the video to do it, go ahead once we are finished with the directions for each problem. Okay? So stay with me. The next one says, this is number 3. It says, Melinda says that the category of yellow train cars is less than the category of train cars that are not yellow. So she says that there are 6 yellow cars and 8 that are not yellow. If you think she's correct, circle the word yes, Y-E-S. If you think she's not right, circle no, N-O. Okay, here's the last problem, number 4. Aaron says that the category of red train cars is greater than the category of train cars that are not red. Does his answer make sense? What do you need to do? So think about it. He thinks that there's more red. He thinks there's 8, and he thinks there's 6 that are not red. So if you think that's true, circle yes. If you don't think that's true, circle no. Okay? Good job this week, friends, working on categorizing. This is kind of a tricky skill, but it's something that's good practice for us, and you actually already know how to do it. They just teach us other strategies like our T-chart and using bigger vocabulary words to tell us what we're doing. But great job. Again, tomorrow we do not have a math video. You will bring your sealed envelope to your teacher's reading group to complete your math brain drain or your math assessment with your teacher. Okay? So make sure not to open this until your teacher tells you to in your reading group. All right? Great job, friends. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you next week for your next math lesson.